those holes look like the work of a very persistent, determined woodpecker. And I'm actually on my way out from Harrisburg today after spending quite a while at Woods Hole. I went in there last Sunday. I hiked about 17 to get there so I could take a 0 on Monday. Then I did my slack pack on Tuesday, and Neville really needed some help, and she asked me if I could stay for a few days and help out doing work for stay. So I agreed to give her 3 days and hike out on Saturday. And during that time, Mudbug showed up, which is awesome. I haven't seen her in quite a while. And so I was supposed to hike out yesterday, and she was going to leave today. But I got all the way to the trailhead and realized I didn't have my trekking poles. Shame on me. I am not usually one to forget things. So I kind of took that as a sign that maybe I needed one more lazy day. I went back to Woods Hole and told Neville I wasn't going to work. I was just going to be lazy. So I paid for my last night, and then Mudbug and I hiked out together this morning, and it's only 6.7 to the first shelter with a lot of climbing, and after being off trail for, I don't know, 6 days or so, I'm feeling it on the struggle bus, as Mudbug said. We're both feeling it a bit, but I think we're gonna get up to that shelter and then see how we feel, and maybe hike a little bit more and camp so I can get a few more miles in today, and then hopefully get to Catawba. Planning to stay at the Four Pines Hostel there in 5 days, possibly 6, but hopefully 5. I've just come out of the woods over there, and this is, I think, the edge of Rice Field. It's gorgeous. There's a beautiful view here, and lots of grasses and things, and I see a sign way up there, so I'm going to go check it out. There's Rice Field Shelter. That might be it over there, tucked in the woods. I'll find out. And we need to decide if we're going to stay there tonight, if the views are good, or we may go on another couple of miles and camp. But I was right, the shelter's over here just on the edge of the field, and have to climb some fence stiles to get there, but I'll be curious to see if it's got nice views or not. We were sitting in the shelter and we noticed a couple of deer grazing over here in the field. Got one of them's attention over here. They are big. Really pretty little white-tailed deer. That one is looking at me. You see, she's not too worried. This view is just amazing. I love the rolling hills and the green. Just leaving the campsite where Mudbug and I stayed last night. It was really nice. There's several tent sites there, and it's only about 1.5 miles from the rice field shelter. So we had a really nice night. Actually, nobody else showed up to join us, so it was very quiet. And had a terrible time hanging my bareback last night. Had to try 4 different trees and several different throws, and Mudbug had to jump in and help, and we finally got it. And then when I got up this morning, and actually before I even got up, I woke up and I've been having a dream about hanging out with my daughter, and we were having so much fun, and then I woke up and I'm like, oh crap, I'm in my tent. I'm on the trail, which makes me happy, but it also made me very homesick. So I rolled over and went back to sleep for a little bit, but then I got up and I went to get my food bag, and it would not budge. We used the PCT method, and somehow the cord had gotten tangled on the carabiner, and so the stick would not come down, and it took us quite a while to get it down. I think it was probably about 45 minutes, but we finally did. Pretty hysterical. I'm sorry we didn't have the video going, but Mudbug was pulling on the cord and I tried to catch it, and we both just about ended up on the ground, and it was funny, but we got it done. And so I got to have breakfast. I had a good breakfast, and now I'm heading out, and she's a little bit behind me. And we're planning to go 15 today to the Bailey Gap shelter. There's no water for the first 10 miles, so I'm carrying 2.5 liters, which is more than I normally carry, but as muggy as it's been, I've been drinking a lot and I don't want to run short. So anyway, that's the plan for the day. It's a little sprinkly. I think only a 40% chance of rain, but it's already sprinkled a bit, so maybe it'll clear up and be nice. But either way, it's pretty cool. lovely day. There's a deer just right over there. I startled it. And there's another one. Good morning, deer. Go on. Go ahead. I'm coming this way, so you probably want to move. Go ahead. You just want to watch me? Your friend's over there. See your friend? Hi. Good morning. Should I just go on by? I don't want to scare you. Go ahead. Go ahead. If I keep walking, are you going to go? Go on. Go on. You can go across. Isn't that gorgeous? I've been told that these are very rare. We saw one yesterday that was just in bud form, but this one's open. It's beautiful. I've been hiking for not quite 2 hours now, and it's been raining pretty steadily, but I just came out of the woods. It's a lot brighter out here, and I'm not sure what these are, but they smell divine. They're very fragrant, very pretty, and it's just a little patch. I'm wondering if they're berries, but I'm not certain. And then I'm going to go right back into the woods up there. Well, I just came up through maybe half a mile of those patches of fields, I guess. I don't know what you call them since I don't know the name of the plant, but anyway, I've decided I'm going to take a little break right here on these rocks and see if Mudbug can catch up, and I also need a snack. But I've only been hiking for just shy of 2 hours, and I don't think I've even done 4 miles. I think I'm way off my target because I've stopped several times to put on my rain cover and then my rain jacket and that sort of thing. I also noticed there are some signs posted here in association with the, I believe it's the Mountain Valley Pipeline Project, and there are certain areas where you cannot go off the trail. You have to stay on the trail, and you can't go down near any kind of construction. I know that pipeline is very controversial, and it's a shame that it's crossing the AT and causing disruption on the AT. But anyway, so it's important to be mindful of the signs from the Forest Service when you see them, even though they're sometimes a little hard to decipher. But I'm going to take my break now, have a little bit of a second breakfast, and then get going again. Hopefully soon the rain will stop. It seems to be letting up a little bit. I literally just took my shoes off and wrung out my socks because these Ultras hold a lot of water. And I just got them coming out of Damascus, and you can see there's a lot of places where they're coming apart here, right here. This toe I glued with super glue, and it's holding all right. I just did that at Woods Hole. This one unfortunately isn't. Both toes were coming off a good ½ inch or so. Honestly, I can't recommend these shoes. I know they're very popular and a lot of people love them, but I'm not having a good customer experience with them at all. I did complain about the toes when that started in the first week, and Ultra offered to send me a replacement pair for just the $10 shipping, which was considerate. And I did take advantage of that offer, although I don't have the new ones yet. I went ahead and ordered a pair of La Sportivas that I hope are going to be sturdier and have a better grip. The sole on these are the Lone Peak 3.5. It's cute, but it doesn't have a whole lot of grip. So as I think I've mentioned in other videos, I slip a lot, I trip a lot because of that, which is a real hazard. And just, yeah, overall, even though they're quite comfortable, not at all happy with them. Now that the rain has let up, the forest has gotten very foggy. And I just came through an area back there a little ways that was very confusing. It's where the pipeline project, I guess, meets the trail, and there was a side road with a lot of ATV. Very easy to get turned around and end up in the wrong spot, and I haven't seen Mudbug, even though I stopped back there a little bit, so I'm hoping that she does not take a wrong turn. We had a couple instances yesterday where we almost took a wrong turn, and thankfully together we're able to check each other, so hopefully she'll be catching up with me soon. I've gone about halfway to the first shelter, which is actually closed. It's the Pine Swamp Branch Shelter. It's 5.2 from here. I know that sign's pretty hard to read. There's a new sign showing that 18 north and south. But I think I'm going to stop for just a minute and see if Mudbug catches up, and if not, I'll forge ahead. I just left the Bailey Gap Shelter. It was a little small. I think it said it was supposed to sleep 8, but I don't think it would have been tight squeezed to get that many people. But it was just me and Mudbug, and then one guy who was hammocking behind the shelter and then drop, and Gemini, who I met at Woods Hole, came by, and they ended up tenting up the hill just a little ways. But it was nice. It was a quiet night. We saw a few mice kind of scurrying around under the picnic table, but none of them bothered me in the shelter at night, which was good. And I don't usually shelter. I'm more of a tent girl, but we got in and it was a little after 7, especially after stopping about 0.2 down the hill to get water, and that was a little bit of a hike. It was over a rock scramble and down a steep hill to get to a stream, but that was the water source for the shelter, unless you're in real wet weather, which we are. But we didn't want to take a chance on the wet weather option, so we got the water and headed out to the shelter. And like I said, I slept pretty well, which is good. I feel good this morning, but I was in a lot of pain because of all the rain yesterday. And I was hiking in my shorts, and my anti-chafe just kind of wore off, and I was like red raw on my thighs. So this morning I'm hiking in my leggings, which I don't usually do. I want to keep them dry, but cross my fingers that my shorts will be dry tonight if I get rained on today. But I'm also crossing my fingers I won't get rained on today. So we'll see how it goes. We've got about 14.5 miles to, not the next shelter, but the one after that, trying to get in as many miles as we can, and also trying to figure out how we can shorten up the trip to the Four Pines Hostel in Catawba and try to get there in 5 days instead of 6. But not sure if that'll work out based on pacing, but we'll see. Oh, I forgot to mention there was an adorable little bunny hopping around the shelter this morning. He was just getting his breakfast and enjoying himself. This is pretty much what it looks like this morning, just misty gray. Every now and then the wind blows and drops a lot of raindrops on me. It's not raining, it's just moisture coming out of the trees, the dew that's on the leaves and the rain that's sitting on the leaves, and lots of rocks. I have been hiking for just over an hour now, picking my way over these rocks, which really slow me down and send me home. So I'm picking my way through bit by bit, and I've only got 1.3 miles in the first hour. So if the terrain doesn't change soon, I'm craving a change in terrain. If it doesn't change soon, this 14-mile hike could take me a good, I don't know, 10 or 12 hours. So it could be a really long day today. So I am very thankful at this particular moment. After a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours of pure rock hopping, rock scrambling, I have a tiny little bit, at least some gentle trail to give me a break. And I am so happy to see it. I know it's not going to last. I'm probably going to have rocks coming up around a bend, but oh, thank you. Found a big sign here in the woods in the middle of all the mist. It's pretty, still pretty gray. And it tells me that Appalachian Trail up at the top, you are here, paralleling Bailey's Gap Road. Mini Ball Hill is 0.4. I guess I'm not going over that. Salt Sulphur Turnpike Road, not too far away, and Mountain Lake, 5 miles. I suppose if it was a really hot sunny day, I might be tempted to go that 5 miles, but I am definitely not today. It's cool, misty, gray, and since I'm still enjoying this somewhat level trail, I've had a little bit of climbing, a little bit of spots of rocks, but right now it's good, and I'm going to try to kind of make up some time, pick up some speed. I do feel like I am finally starting to get my trail legs back after my break at home and my time at Woods Hole, so that's a good thing. It's nice to feel good. I just crossed the road right there. There's a parking area, and there's a little more information here about the Mountain Lake Wilderness. We actually have been kind of skirting the border between Virginia and West Virginia for quite a while, and it looks like I might actually be turning and going south for a little bit through this area right there. That looks like it's south, and then back down this way past Kelly Knob and on from there. So it's been an interesting hike, and I'm as I said before, very thankful for the slightly smoother trail for a little bit to give me a break from all that rock climbing, which is pretty intense for me, and maybe help me pick up some speed. This is kind of funny. A little ways back there I had the choice between going up this wide trail or taking a side trail with its white blazes, the narrow trail, and I did that. I don't know how far it was, maybe 2/10 of a mile, and here I am right back again, coming out at the wide path again. Well, that smoother trail definitely helped me pick up a little bit of speed. It's 12:15 and I've got just over 5 miles in, so not great, but better than I was doing on the rocks. And there's a nice little campsite here behind me, and I've got a big log to sit on, so I'm going to go ahead and take a lunch break And it does seem like it's raining in earnest. For a long time it just felt like the wind is blowing and getting the moisture off the trees from all the fog, but I think it's actually raining, so I got my rain gear on. And I'm happy in the sense that it's a 14.1 mile day today, and so with 5 I've got only 9 and change to go. There's a little bit more level trail, and then I've got a big down and a really big up. It's I think 2,000 feet over 2 miles, so that's going to be quite a climb. Feeling pretty good. I got into a groove a while ago on the level trail that I haven't been in for a long time, so that's encouraging. And yeah, time to eat lunch and keep moving. I have seen little bits of these bright red, I guess they're mushrooms, along the trail, just kind of ones or twos, but there's a huge bunch of them right here along the trail, and they're very tiny, as you can see from, well, there's my boots. So teeny tiny little bright red mushrooms.